This is a Happy Meeting Podcast. I'm Jerry. That's Matt. Oh, that one's Matt. What's up?
Not much, man. Once this show gets over, I'm gonna check out some classic Neil Young songs on Spotify.
Man.
Why? I'm not gonna be able to. Why is that?
I don't think so. We're setting it up like a skit. Neil Young took on the Rogan horse and lost. Even though I don't know, I think it's just a publicity move to pull this shit off Spotify.
Do they make any money off Spotify anyway?
No.
So who cares?
I mean, I don't know if it's a publicity move or if
Is his listenership really on Spotify? I mean, you got young people that check out Neil Young. I listen to Neil Young. I think he's got great songs. I'll listen to him on Spotify, but like his fan base is like 60 plus that like were around back in the day. So
I'm sure it's a mere fraction compared to Rogan listeners.
Yeah, I mean that's the problem with his little ultimatum.
Yeah, well, that's why I think it's like, I don't know. We all know that they don't make any money on Spotify. Musicians don't.
Because this was 1975. I think his threat would hold more weight, but I mean, the only I don't listen to Joe Rogan. I really don't. Honestly, I don't think I've seen listen to a whole episode of Joe Rogan. I've seen clips. The people I know who listen to Joe Rogan talk like this. If you listen to Joe today,
I listen to Joe Rogan.
If you listen to Joe,
I mean, not
Joe
like
smokes weed all day.
Not like every day, but
Joe could be a fighter if he trained harder.
So hold on,
I never saw news radio. What the hell is that?
So now you're being okay. Now you're being like the one side, like, if you listen to Rogan, you're this.
No, not at all.
That's what you just said. You said everybody I know sounds like this. Who I listen to.
It's just everybody I know who listens to Joe Rogan is like some country person. It's just a fact. It's not an opinion.
Not me.
Not
everybody. You know me.
Huh?
So not everybody.
You don't listen to him religiously though.
Yeah, I mean, what's religiously? If he has got a good guest on
every day, you go. Let's check out Joe. Like
not every day.
The Howard Stern show back in the day. Every day, put on Howard.
It just depends on the guest. He's had a lot of good guests on lately. Like Jim Gaffigan was on last week.
And I've seen those clips. Like I watched his a lot of his interviews on YouTube. Like I was just saying, like it's not my opinion. It's just I've noticed it's like people with shaved heads and their country accents, and they're like, "Did you check out Joe today?
Okay.
Did you listen to Joe? I ain't slamming the guy. I got nothing against him. I don't know him. I don't know his work that well. I know he did Fear Factor, which
I think that's kind of my point. Like a lot of people love to slam. It's anything. It's anything that the media picks up and slams. If you're not familiar, you're gonna of course like have opinions based on what's being shared and reported to you in small little clips, as opposed to the 3-hour conversations that he has.
His thing was the horse stuff. That's what pissed everybody off.
The what?
The horse, whatever. The horse. When he caught COVID, he wasn't vaccinated. He took, I can't think of the name of it. It was like horse dewormer. Yeah, that's what put him on the shit list of everyone like hating him and thinking he was
because ivermectin was in on a smear campaign from CNN, and then he got it right at the right time, around that time, and then he said he took like 10 different things, and that was one of them. And so then, of course, they jumped on him for just taking that. But, I mean, he got better, so why? I don't understand why. I mean, I do understand. It's just a part of the media smear campaign. But anyway.
Joe's having a lot of problems with Spotify, though. He's causing people to walk out. He has Neil Young. I mean, you could say what Neil Young did was a little childish and not beneficial to himself, because he's cutting off his music for new generations who are on Spotify, who won't go out and buy an LP, but maybe we'll listen to, Old Man or Damage Done. But I don't know. I think like, what if it was like Post Malone or Drake or one of the big people now who said,
yeah, like, I mean, this could be a domino effect. It could,
that's what I mean. Like everyone jumps on board Pearl Jam, or all of a sudden pulls their stuff. Everybody who leans pro-vaccine and don't like whatever Joe Rogan represents, whatever if that's realistic or if that's a concoction of the media. That could be. I mean, they really have not been. They made him feel welcome at Spotify. I mean, ever since he came over, people started freaking out and getting mad. And
because you got a bunch of woke bitches over in New York that complain about everything. It's case in point, how many misogyny. Well, I think it started with Joe Rogan with the trans stuff. Basically, and that started with like a trans MMA fighter who was really, or whatever you want to call it, a person who was originally a man, transitioned to a woman, and then was fighting women in the UFC and was like killing them, like destroying them. That started like a couple years ago. I think that started the whole the first log to the fire that that upset a lot of people. And then of course you get this, you get the big deal on Spotify. So now your image is enlarged times 100. And so you got a lot of people in, Spotify is basically based out of Sweden, I think. But they have New York offices. So a lot of these, people who are up in arms, probably like in reality, like less than 20 who work in these New York offices are probably people under 30 and are just hopping on the bandwagon. Well, I don't like what he says and I don't like what his views. Well, how much, misogynistic and, offensive, rap songs and rock songs and are on Spotify. I complain about those artists. I think you just become a scapegoat for everything that's, well, if you have a certain opinions that don't fit, I don't want to say the narrative, but just don't fit, then you got to go. Right or wrong. I mean, I'm not saying I believe 100% what he says, but this has been going on for years. It's just now, then the COVID thing, and then his stance, and then, the anti-vax whole part. I mean, that's just logs upon logs on the fire.
I think him also, he endorsed Trump over Biden. That pissed off Hollywood. And then I think him moving from California to Texas was an FU. Even though I see he's always at one of the main comedy clubs in Los Angeles, like on a weekly basis, performing, and he is doing a tour. It's like Joe Rogan 420, and he's playing like an arena in Dallas, Texas. So I don't think it's really hurting him that much.
No, like he's doing all right. It's not hurting him at all. That's why I don't think it's like people protesting, something they know they're not going to win. They know that's why I think it's staged. I think it's like, well, we want to pull out Spotify because I don't know how much it costs to be on Spotify as a huge big artist like Neil Young or any big artist. I know it costs, if you're an unsigned artist, it costs X amount per year to be on it. So it's like anything. Well, if I'm paying X amount of money, I'm not getting X amount of return, then let's just drop it. Well, so I think it's coming for Spotify, because people bitch about Spotify for years about how much they don't pay the artists, and they make pennies on the dollar per stream, and all it takes is a couple big artists to drop. And I mean, I don't know. I feel like they're signing a lot of big artists, podcasts, to exclusive deals. So they obviously got money, and I feel like they're investing more into their podcasts as opposed to their artists.
Well, I would say they've beaten Pandora, wouldn't you? Pandora is irrelevant in my mind.
I mean, I still feel like they're the most popular streaming service.
Yeah.
And I feel like Apple's only hanging because of the deals they make with people who use iPhones and stuff.
That's the reason why I have Apple.
Yeah, that's why they give them deals and exclusive. Do they give you like a 3-month deal? Like when I feel like that's Spotify didn't have that. Spotify got big overseas, and it was like invite only. You know who I got my invite link from? Trent Reznor
himself, right?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it came from a tweet, but still, he's like, "Here's my invite only link. Get on it. Get on if you can." That was 10 years ago, at least. So I don't know. I feel like it's. I don't feel like it's publicity. I think it could lead to some big names especially the older. Like I was like waiting for like Metallica. But then again, like you still got to play to your audience too, because it's like anything nowadays. Well, if you take the stance, then you lean on this side as opposed to that side, and how many of your listeners are on this side, and how many, is it going to affect your album sales? Is it going to affect your tour ticket purchases and all that stuff? It's all a game. That's all it is.
That's why it's best just to keep your mouth shut.
Well, I mean I guess.
Well, I mean, are you saying Neil Young's move was a calculated move or an emotional move?
I feel like everything's a calculated move. Everything's a calculated move. You think you really? I mean, he probably does feel. I mean, that's pretty on brand for him to disagree. But
he's been very outspoken his whole career.
Yeah, it's on brand for him. So I don't know. I don't know enough about Neil Young, but I just feel like, and like, I don't know, does he have a new album coming out? Is he touring? Like usually like this stuff aligns with, something to boost some sales. Or maybe he's selling his catalog pretty soon. I know a lot of artists around his age are selling their catalogs. I don't know. You would think you want to keep that on Spotify though, if he's doing that.
Yeah.
But
he's made some great music though. Not for nothing. You know what I mean? Are you familiar with some of the songs and the albums he's put out?
Not really.
I mean, they say he's the godfather of grunge, man. Like he's Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young was his first band, but way back when. Then Neil Young, I think either Neil Young or Neil Young and Crazy Horse.
I learned about, I mean to interrupt. I learned about this before I heard like the news about it. I saw a meme and it had like a photoshopped image of the like the Spotify web browser artist page. It has like their banner and then like their name in big bold letters. It was Crosby, Stills, Nash and Rogan. And then Rogan's face was superimposed over Neil Young. I'm like, oh, that's kind of random. It's pretty funny.
Well, listen, how much money did they pay Joe Rogan? Like hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah,
they're not just going to go back on it because of Neil Young. Like you said, both agree it has to be a domino ripple effect where every artist or a good portion of the artist where it makes it not worth it jump off, and we'll see what happens. Other than that, I mean, nothing against Neil Young. He's not going to hurt Spotify by leaving.
Yeah, and I don't know Neil Young's deal structure over his music. I don't know if he owns it or if label owns it, but it could be a label thing too. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of old. It's done. I mean, there's nothing really to talk about. When we brought this up, there was no action, but now they removed it, which is like, I don't know. It's a Spotify removed it. Well, I don't know. You would think like the artist is in control of their music, whether it's on Spotify or not. I guess.
That is a weird narrative.
That's why there's something, I don't know. Spotify to take down. So Spotify, I don't know. I feel like it's all constructed. It's all just,
it's all by design.
Yeah.
Get Neil Young some press. Don't forget about Neil Young. He's not Neil old. He's Neil Young.
Ooh.
So yeah, I'm not sure. Now.
I'm not sure. I don't know the structure. I only know the structures from like a unsigned independent artist, which is still not that much, but like if it's somewhat similar, like I have control of putting it up and taking it down whenever I want. But I don't know.
Well, I mean, maybe.
And like, well, okay, I don't know. It's just, I don't. My whole thing is this: if you have a problem with one thing, then like, but you're still on in terms of like ethics and okay, a vaccine. All right, you don't agree with, but do you agree with everything that Apple does? Like as a corporation, do you agree with everything? Is that a yes or a no? If it's a yes, then if you don't agree with everything Apple does, then take your music off Apple Music.
That's like people with a lot of criticism over King James, LeBron James. He's very outspoken and this and that, and his shoes are made by kids basically in sweatshops. So it's like, if you care about social justice so much, why are you selling shoes made by kids in sweatshops that are have no rights.
It's the same thing you brought up yesterday about your anti-capitalism, anti-this. Why you type on your Apple laptop and drink your $12 Starbucks coffee. You know,
Exactly.
it's like that's what I'm saying. Like, it's one thing to have opinions, but like you have opinion on just this one thing,
Yeah.
and to like be that you can't live in the society. You know, if you want to take a stance against every little injustice and whatnot.
But what else is Neil Young on that's compromising his beliefs? I mean, Apple Music, you're saying Apple's not on the up and up. Apple's killed people.
What did I say that Apple's does? I don't know. They're a huge corporation. I'm sure they do something. I mean, with their iPhone manufacturing over out in what country is it? And somewhere in China, you know, where they pretty much have. I don't know. I don't want to start spouting off facts or not facts. Spouting off.
Yeah, why say facts? Why say facts? Let's.
Apple's too concerned about trying to make their Apple TV happen. Their Apple TV Plus.
Yeah, that's
Do you have that?
No, I don't. I have family members who have it and watch it. And let's see, what was the draw on that show, or what's the show that's a draw on that they're trying to get me to watch?
Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso. No, listen.
Here, I'm gonna bring it up.
Listen, Ted Lasso. Like, I hate that guy's face.
You don't like Jason Sudeikis?
It's weird, man, because like when he was on Saturday Night Live, and it was back when like probably towards the end of me watching Saturday Night Live, my SNL career was his era, and I thought he was money on that show. But seeing him in movies and just seeing him smile, it just makes me see red or something. And it's just like Ted Lasso, and you know, just the name Ted Lasso just like pisses me off. It's like sounds like some like ABC sitcom show that like ugly middle American people like watch, and like, you know, broken families come together. Let's watch Ted Lasso. Like, he's a coach of a team. But you know what? I saw like a quote from his on Facebook, because that's all I do, I guess, is waste my life on social media. And the quote was pretty fucking deep. It was from the show. I don't know exactly what it was, but it was about how no one ever gave him a chance. And that to me illustrated great writing, if that was actually part of the show. So people I know have watched it and say it's great, and then I should shut the fuck up. People always say I should shut the fuck up, but they say it's good. What I'm more interested in is the Will Ferrell, Paul Rudd show. I know Rob McElhenney from It's Always Sunny either has a show or is going to have a show about like.
Yeah, he's got a show. He's like a gamer.
Yeah.
He's like the Steve Jobs of gaming. Like, he created a game. I watched a couple episodes of that. I don't know. I did watch Ted Lasso. I like Ted Lasso, but it is very like when I saw the trailers.
Yeah.
I just it's like one of the you're kind of right. You kind of hit on the head. It's like the network show,
right,
for a streaming service, which is like, it's good. It's actually, the writing's really good, but it's very uplifting. It's very positive. It's not, you know, it doesn't, when you think of like premium, you know, like the HBO shows, they're dark, or they're, you know, I mean, they do cuss a lot, and I don't think they show like nudity, but there's sex in it. So it's not like super squeaky clean.
They don't show dicks on Ted Lasso. They don't show Ted Lasso.
I was gonna bring that up. I don't mean to sidetrack, but like just all the shows I'm watching lately, I feel like I see a lot of dicks. I know we cover this. Man. I know we covered this on a couple episodes. I guess dicks are the new thing, you know, because you can't Me Too dicks. I don't know, something about. I mean, it doesn't bother me. I'm not homophobic about it.
It doesn't bother me, but it's just like, are they really showing another dick? It gets to that point where it's like, that's the 8th dick I've seen. That's not like I'm counting, but it's like.
I know, it's like, I guess, I mean, in the 80s and 90s it was boobs, so I guess
like we talked about, though, in some comedies they do dick shots for like shock value.
Yeah, well, and you know, back to the same, you know, the shower scenes and where it's just in the background. It's not really like, oh, there's boobs, okay, but it doesn't really like, you know, help the story, or it's just, you know, eye candy. But now I guess dicks are the new boobs.
In like the classic old school rated R sex comedies, they showed breasts in order to be sexual and to entice the male audience. I don't think that's why they're showing dicks in these shows. I don't know why they're showing these dicks. They're not trying to.
You know why? I know why. Because if you show boobs, it's going to cause outrage. Let's be real.
Just don't show anything then.
Well, but you gotta have some. You gotta have some.
Gotta have some.
Not attractiveness. I don't know what is it. Just the.
I don't think anybody's attracted to those dicks.
It's not. Yeah, it's just shocking. Maybe for the shock value, because dicks.
Well, are you caught up on Euphoria?
Yeah, I watched the latest episode.
Okay, so I don't want to get into like breaking it down, even though I really don't care about spoiling it for people. I hate our audience. I'm just joking. I love you. The dude walking out naked while she's trying to cop that drug deal with that Martha from Baskets. Like,
oh my
God, that was not necessary.
I love this. I love that she's in. Anyway,
Martha, yeah.
Oh my God, bitch. She's Martha. Like she will never play. I guess that's her personality because it's the exact same character.
But it's scary though. Like
it's scary when she's not in yeah, you take the same character and put her in Euphoria. It's like, holy shit.
I'm gonna sell you to fucking sex trafficking or whatever or something.
Yeah, don't
fuck me over. Like that was terrifying.
Yeah. I'm sure that's gonna come into play in
whatever, like her brother or boyfriend or whoever that fucking asshole guy is, he just comes walking out naked, fucking dick shot, and he's like bending over in front of her. I know it's supposed to be like, what a weird environment, and she's trying to make this, grandiose deal, and like this weird shit's happening. And yeah, it's kind of funny, but it's just like, come on, really? And then they had the backstory of that kid's dad, Nate's dad, which how many like 80s songs can you cram into like a 3-minute intro of a show? Like, I mean, it was like it was just badass 80s songs too. And here's a flaw. And then I want to move on from this. So I didn't really care to know about this guy's dad any more than I already do. Okay. But if you go by that soundtrack, the songs that were played during his high school years, that would be in the 80s. That would make that Nate guy like our age right now. Was that him? Was that him that he got the phone call about, like that she was pregnant, or does he have a brother?
Yeah, that's him.
Okay, so that had to be like in the late 80s. That means he'd be in his 30s now. He's only supposed to be like 17 or 18. His dad should be a lot younger.
No. If he was 18, it had to be like the early 90s or late 80s. I mean, so late 80s. No, like, if he was in high, if he was in,
that's like over 30 years ago.
If he was in high school in the late 80s, that wouldn't make.
Let's say 88.
That wouldn't make him our age because we graduated in 03. Oh shit, we graduated in the early 2000s. It wouldn't make him our age. 07?
No, yeah. I'm saying, how old is Nate? The character's supposed to be. He's supposed to be in high school.
Oh, Nate. Yeah. Nate's supposed to be 17, 18.
Okay, so he's technically our age if you go by that timeline, because it was in the 80s when he gets the phone call that his wife is pregnant. If that's 88, he's like 33, 34 at this point.
Nate is?
Yes, you're not good. Yeah.
I got your. I thought you were saying the dad. Yeah.
No,
what's his name? No. It's not Clay. What's his name?
Something like that. K or something. Something stupid name. It's a stupid name, right? Cal. Yeah, can I fuck Calvin or something? God, he got his head fucking bashed in. I was
so
like,
let's do. Yeah, I'm liking that show more and more the more I watch it.
I hope that guy dies though. I hate that dad. He's a piece of shit.
Well, this episode tried to make him more relatable, like how he's
trying to humanize him.
Yeah, he's secretly gay or bi, whatever you want to call it, and then
well, that was what was different was when they introduced him, he was hooking up with trans girls, so that didn't 100% mean that he was gay, but then he had that, I mean, that could mean any kind of like attraction. You could just be into trans girls, you know what I mean? But he had that relationship back in high school with that friend, which showed some dicks.
You know what? You're right. You're exactly right. So if Nate is 18,
yeah, so
right,
18,
and if this takes place in 2020, let's just say it takes place in 2020, just to make it even, minus 18, that's 2002.
Yeah, this was in 88. Let's say it was 1990. Let's say this wasn't in the 80s. Let's say it was 1990 and he was born. That means he would have been 18 in 2008.
Did they really mess up that bad?
Unless like his dad was like really into like 80s music in the 2000s.
But it's not even the 90s.
I mean, they did the same thing with Fezco and his that Artie Bucco's wife from The Sopranos, who was his grandma.
Yeah.
You see that episode? They're playing like Harry Nielsen jump into the fire. I mean, that's like the 70s.
Yeah.
That guy wasn't growing up in the 70s. I mean,
yeah. What?
soundtrack for the soundtrack's sake, but it kind of like portrayed it as very retro at the times, like it was older times. But I hate to be a Euphoria nerd or fanboy.
That's pretty big though. But yeah, like I definitely buy the music. It was the 80s, but nothing.
It was a cult. It was NXS. It was the Depeche Mode.
Some great songs. Holy crap!
Oh, I loved it. I'm like, this is why I like the show. I was thinking like just the way they every like song like segued into a different scene. Like it was cool as hell. But again, I don't like his dad, and I will not let him be humanized.
So I'm trying to see. This is great. Yeah, I'm trying to get a breakdown to see if it had like a year, just so they could say what year it would have been. But I don't see anything. Storyline. No, nothing major. Yeah, that's pretty bad. But no, what are you gonna do? So that's so we're moving away from Apple TV. That's on Euphoria is on HBO. I don't really. I mean, I don't have Apple TV Plus. I've seen some shows on it. I feel like they try to be the next HBO, like how HBO used to be, like quality over quantity.
Have you seen that Steve Carell morning show? That is redundant, but
Steve Carell. Yeah, I watched. That was good. I watched a couple episodes. I didn't finish it.
I'm over Steve Carell.
Yeah, but he's like the bad. He's like the bad guy, though.
He's like the Matt Lauer.
Yeah, you don't really see him as a. See, I don't
think he's done anything good since The Office.
That's the problem, because I don't have it, so I watch like whatever free like show I can watch. So I don't have like the full seasons. Same like with The Shrink Next Door with Paul Rudd and Will Ferrell. Like I only saw one episode of that. I'm trying to find a list of shows they got besides Ted Lasso, and I mean a lot of good actors and actresses for sure. But I feel like a lot of the stuff is unwatched, or at least like there's like it looks like good shows, but like nothing that no one's really talking about. So who knows? Apple's got the money, so they're drawn the. Oh, Jon Stewart's got his show on there.
What show?
Like it's like the Daily
Show. Talk show.
Yeah. The problem with Jon Stewart. But yeah, I mean, there's so many to compete with nowadays, and you said Peacock entered. I
actually like Peacock, to be honest.
I do too. I didn't think I would.
I didn't think I'd like it. I got it the free service, and then like I subscribed to it, and that you can laugh at me if you want, but I watched that like Chucky show they have on there. That's like from USA, and like that's like good. That's a well done show. Like it's way better than the movies. Like it was like just like how Euphoria is produced well with like music and stuff. And that's how that Chucky show is, man. I burned through that in like a day. I was like, this is fucking great. They get exclusive movies like the new Halloween movie they have.
Yeah.
I enjoy Peacock. I'm into the Datelines, the crime shows. I'm a nerd like that, or I guess I don't know. They say that's like a white thing to watch crime stuff, but
white woman thing, or just a woman thing.
I guess. Yeah, I was trying not to say that, but
I'm not saying it. I'm just that's like the joke that women love to watch shit because they secretly want to kill their husbands. Not all.
Well, they have plenty of those shows with those themes of like Snapped, and it's usually some woman who loses her mind and kills her husband.
The problem
with Knives. I mean,
the what?
Wives with Knives is a show.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
The problem with those, and this is mainly like Netflix documentaries, is Making a Murderer started that whole trend, and everyone I've
podcasts like
right, the serial, right. I feel like everyone I watch, it's like at least 5 or 6 episodes. I feel like they can always be 2 or 3. I feel like they're all the same. Like every first episode's usually great, sucks you in. Ooh, what happens? And there's a big twist at the end of the first episode, and you get to the second episode, and like the third and fourth, sometimes fifth, they're just like either filler or they, throw red flags to try to go, get you to think it's this way, and it comes back, and then like the ending's usually anticlimactic. It's like, yeah.
Have you heard of The Jinx on HBO?
Is that with I think so. I haven't seen it.
Robert Durst.
Yeah, Robert Durst. Yeah.
That's kind of like that, where like the first two episodes are like, holy shit. Then they kind of have some episodes in the middle that are, yeah, I noticed a lot of like that, where the first two episodes kind of kick your ass, and then the second two are kind of just like stuff that could easily be covered in one whole episode. They're just kind of like dragging it out because we signed a seven episode deal. We got to goddamn it have 7 episodes, whether 4 of them are pointless or not. Like, there's
so much.
But yeah, Robert Durst, he's dead now in real life. Are you familiar with that story? I mean, I'm not. But it must suck for Fred Durst to have him as a father. So.
What? That wasn't his dad.
Huh?
That's a joke, right?
No, that's his dad.
Is it really?
How do you think Fred Durst got into music? I'm joking.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Don't make me look it up. I know a lot of younger people who had no idea who he was. Huh? I freeze? Can you hear me now?
For a minute. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There were a lot of people thinking Fred Durst died.
Yeah.
Just Durst.
I gotta say, Dad Vibes is a fun song.
That's like my least favorite song on that album.
I haven't even listened to the album, so
it's good. I like it.
Listen, I'll listen to a song, but an album like that's too much. Is the album good?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I like it.
Does it take you back to 1999 before the millennium?
It's got some heavy hitters.
Does it?
It's a lot. It's very met. It's very like, just kind of making fun of themselves. And
is it new metalish, or is it like, I mean, is it like, that Korn had that classic new metal sound. Now they've kind of moved away from that. You know what I mean?
It's a tongue in cheek. It's not serious.
So it's like
that makes any
sense. Themselves.
Yeah, kind of. And like they even bring back the sketches. Like we do, like they had like, I don't know if it was real or not, but like they had like a guy pretend like it sounded like a Jerky Boys skit where like he called the guitarist, what's his name, Wes Borland, and like tried to interview him for a like a magazine and just asking a bunch of stupid questions.
That sounds insane.
So it was very like definitely not taking themselves very seriously whatsoever. But
have you heard about Kid Rock's new album from that same genre back in 1998, 1999, Devil Without a Cause? That was one of the biggest albums of like my childhood.
Yeah, I owned it.
Yeah, I owned it too.
So
that's probably the only Kid Rock album I owned. Because then after that, he kind of became redundant. Then he went into country. Now he's kind of like some Ted Nugent kind of guy. Anyway,
he chose his side.
Yeah, he's got a new song out where he blasts President Biden, blasts Fauci. The chorus is "Let's Go, Brandon." And
don't tell me how to live. No,
I don't know. He's released like 5 songs off his new album coming out, and
it's just a way to stay relevant.
I guess. I mean, it's definitely divisive, but I mean, his audience is probably. I mean, that's probably how he feels. I mean, he's in. I don't know. He's been political for a while. I remember at some festival, he was like the last act on a Sunday night, and I kind of just took off. And I remember someone pumping him like on stage, saying he was coming up, and the crowd was just like, "Boo!" And it wasn't like he sucks, but it's just like, what's he gonna do? Like, what am I gonna? You know what I mean? Like,
well, just like that. I mean, I feel like if you're teetering on that side, you're teetering on. Let's say you're trying to play down the middle, and you teeter to where like you're getting, booed. You
wasn't getting booed. It was just like you were like, eh, like
you lean hard on that other side to try to get that audience.
Yeah,
just go full in, go full right.
I mean, he's got some country songs that are pretty fucking painful, dude. That I just can't. Like, I don't know, but I got to give him credit. He learned, he knew how to survive. He knew that rap rock shit wasn't gonna last. That him being, some fucking Kid Rock. I mean, he's like 50 now, so it should be like man rock.
What hit
You
has
know?
he had since all summer long?
Oh, he's got a couple like shitty country songs like that are,
I mean, are they hits?
yeah, in the country realm, not in the rock realm.
Yeah.
I don't think he's had like a rock hit in a long time. So I think that's why people at this rock festival were kind of like, yeah. But then I looked at his set list, it was all like hard shit he's played. He didn't bust out any country stuff. So
Some guys, some bands, some solo, they end up being the old guy at the party at some point. I mean, not every band, obviously. There's still a lot of bands that are still kicking it, but that's why you just get the vibe like, I'm not welcome here. I'm going to go to another party.
well, here's what I'd like to, so if he does go on tour with his new album and he plays venues that require vaccinations, isn't he a hypocrite?
Yeah.
So I better not hear him playing the Scotch Trade Center or anywhere that requires vaccinations.
Yeah.
Because you can't sit there and make songs like fuck Fauci. Not that I don't feel that way at times, because I get frustrated with the constant rule changes. But you can't sit there and be like, fuck the man, just like Rage Against the Machine, fuck capitalism, give us $300 for a nosebleed ticket. I mean, and then we're going to cancel half the tour. Oh, we're segueing into that now. What's the reason for that? Why'd they do that?
I don't know. There's a bunch of other people touring. I don't know why they decided to postpone half their tour. I'm getting my money back.
It would make sense to cancel the whole tour. I've never seen half a tour postponed. I've never heard of like a whole, like half 10 out of 20 dates are being postponed, rescheduled.
For the third time.
I wonder what the problem is.
I really don't think it's COVID. I mean,
it's not COVID. If half the tour is okay to do, then the other half, I mean, I don't know. There's some sort of issue.
Unless they're trying to do. I'm trying to pull up the dates. I'm trying to pull up the cities too. Because if it was like a Midwest thing, then
they might. I don't think they like the Midwest. Well, I know System of a Down hates the Midwest. They'll never come to the Midwest unless they're like on like a tour.
All right. So, no. Texas, Arizona, California, Washington, Oregon, Canada. Maybe because of Canada?
Then they would just cancel Canada. They would
Minnesota, Kansas City. Like St. Louis is one of the last ones. St. Louis, Detroit. And then picks back up in July. Well, okay. It's probably
those shows not selling well.
It's probably because of the legs. It looks like a leg because it starts in April and ends in May, and then the confirmed ones start in July. So I bet the tour is broken up into two legs, and so they probably naturally. So they probably decided just to postpone the first leg, but I don't know why. And there's so many other people touring now; they're just plowing ahead.
Don't they need the money? I mean, come on.
Yeah, I don't know. It'd be nice. It'd be nice to have like a real source that like reported shit like the real reasons why.
Tom Morello has more communist hats to buy.
Ooh, ouch.
No, I love the people in the Che Guerrero shirts in those 2-story houses in their suburbs with their communist stuff. It's like, do you not understand how this works? It's like,
yeah, and it's funny. Like Tom is very active on social media. Like he's the only one that kept making music. Like he made like 2 or 3 solo albums.
I get the impression that Tom is a money grubbing, hungry whore. And I get the impression that the rest of the band, well, maybe not the rest of the band, but at least Zach doesn't give a fuck.
I mean, clearly, because he hasn't done anything. I mean, he hasn't done a lot. Well,
he put out some solo music like a while ago, but I think it was just random songs. It was really good too. It was just like him doing hip hop songs.
Yeah.
It was like maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and I was waiting for him to expand on it, like an LP or like a tour, and he never did.
But he did a couple of songs
with stuff, dude.
He did a couple of songs with Run the Jewels.
Yeah. These were solos though. These weren't Run the Jewels. These are just him with like some beat behind him, and he's just like rapping, dude. And like, dude, that alone is impressive. Like he should definitely do like his own tour and then throw in some Rage songs. Like he'd be way better than Tom Morello.
I just hate like they just become, that's one band that like should have just stayed broken up. Cause like look, now they're selling, Evil Empire jackets for like $100.
Yeah. Oh, they're
Like,
horrible.
okay,
Well, System of a Down is no better. Like
right.
System of a Down, everyone gets all excited, like, oh my God, they're coming back. They released a couple songs like a year or so ago. And they were not bad songs. They were new songs. They created them in the studio. And I think they were to benefit the Armenian genocide or the anniversary of the Armenian genocide, or maybe some stuff that was going on over there. But they've only have like 2 albums. They've really like released Toxicity, and then that double album they put out. They got Steal This album. They got their old school album from '98 that wasn't that popular. So like whenever they get together, it's just like you're gonna hear like, you want to talk about the same songs. I mean, they don't have much to play off of, and
Yeah.
they never ever come to the Midwest. It's always like California shows, like System of a Down in Anaheim or System of a Down in Las Vegas. It's never
Not a lot of people come here unless it's like a really big tour.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like, well, no, like there's bands that come here like every year, man. Like there's like,
I mean, like really big bands. Like who? Besides Tool.
well, really good bands. Like, well, the Tool's debatable.
Not good.
Depending on who you ask.
I said big.
Like really good bands. Like, what do you mean by really good bands? I mean,
I said big. Really
that's a
big,
vague. I
really,
mean, that's an opinion. I mean,
really big bands.
yeah, the Stones came here. The Stones kicked off their tour here.
I guess my internet connection sucks.
Huh?
Can you hear me now? I said, I guess my internet connection sucks. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah.
I said big bands.
The Stones.
Yeah, you said you. I thought you. Never mind. I thought you said.
No,
I said good. I didn't say good. I said big bands.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, bad connection. Pay $100 or whatever it is for this internet. It's fucking up, pissing me off.
Don't let them win.
I'm gonna protest.
Get your bat, get in your car, and go down to the office.
I'm gonna protest my internet.
I was trying to do a show and you fucked me, so I'm gonna fuck up your desk and knock everything off your desk
with the baseball bat. So yeah, I'm gonna try to get my money back from that because I don't feel like waiting another year or whatever it's gonna be.
I mean, let's just be honest. It'll be a badass show. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you it's not. But like, they're just making it. They made it painful with the prices. Now they're doing all this rescheduling. It's just like, yeah, it's becoming painful. As not to sound redundant, but
unless they're really like, we're gonna wait another 6 months, so it'll be better.
How quick do you think they can reschedule? I mean,
it won't be quick.
It won't be quick.
No, it'll be probably another winter tour. I know, because they got dates going until, let's see, they have dates going all the way to August.
So you never got a refund, right?
I could get a refund, but okay, that's another thing that's bullshit. So they say whatever it was a week ago, so it's already been almost 7 days or whatever it's been. You have 30 days to get a refund. Yet they didn't announce when the new dates are. So I feel like it should be 30 days from when the new dates are, because you don't know if you can make. Like, I might be out of town. I might be. I don't know. It's hard to play my.
That's almost like skeptical, kind of, that.
That's why I'm just getting my money back. I'm not waiting. And if if they reschedule, I'll buy more tickets. I'll try to buy more tickets.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd rather just wait, or not wait. I'd rather just give me my money back.
But if you let them keep your money and it was next winter, how long would they have held on to your money for?
These were on sale before the pandemic. So it's been
3 years.
Yeah. Wow. Give me my money back, assholes. Yeah, I don't know. Rather just watch their concert on YouTube. Cause that'll be a nuts one for sure. No matter what.
We're gonna have a bunch of like fucking like pussies acting tough. Like,
yeah,
I'm gonna Rage Against the Machine, Mom. Like, Mom, can I have a ride to Rage Against the Machine? Let's take selfies. We're gonna rage.
Or
we're tired of this shit.
Or it'll be kids, or it'll be people our age and letting their aggression from their lives, letting them out at a concert.
Yeah, those people that I just mentioned will fall victim to the people you just mentioned.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, what They're waiting for what if they're really waiting for like what's going to escalate, if anything does escalate with the Ukraine situation, or there's a midterm election this year, isn't there?
Yeah,
Maybe they're trying to, I don't know, who knows. There's a lot of shit going on.
I don't know. Well, here's the thing with Rage Against the Machine. My final thought on that is they can play the Democratic National Convention. So they played like something where they supported like the Democrats, fine. But you're not raging against the machine. You're just a part of a different machine.
Right.
You're raging against a specific machine, not the whole machine.
Correct. Which a lot of people do.
And I remember back in the day them protesting the Democratic National Convention. So it just shows how, I don't know, it just shows values, man. Either it's all okay or none of it's okay.
Right.
You can't be like, we're going to rage against the machine, only part of it, though.
Well, that goes back to the Neil Young thing, what we were just talking about. You know, you want to choose one little thing, rage against this machine, but there's like 50, 100 other machines that, you know, you could be raging against, but you just pick one. It's an interesting time. I mean, like with this subsequent war coming up, it's like, you know, they could really hang their hat on that, but you don't really hear anything. But like, they're not that active. I don't know. But you don't see many bands like them that, like, because they came out in what, early 90s?
Yeah.
And there wasn't a lot of shit going on then either.
You had the Iraq War, you had the Rodney King stuff, you had OJ trial.
Not like war though.
The Iraq War.
Well, no, they were broken up by then.
The first Iraq War.
Oh. Right. Early night. Well, their first album was 92. Yeah. I just don't. Well, I didn't listen to them a lot when they first came out. I didn't listen until.
And I, like a lot of people, was too young and naive to understand what they're really talking about till you get older and you understand the world. I don't know. There's a lot of people that were like offended by them like recently. And it's like, did you not like read the lyrics? Did you not like
what machine do you think they were raging against?
Yeah, I mean, did you think they were like, I mean, it's not like just rebelling against your mom and dad.
Or like they tell like Tom Morello to like keep your nose out of politics, like stay in your lane, be a musician. It's like, do you know what? Granted, he didn't write the lyrics, but granted, do you know what band I'm in?
That was like their whole identity. That was their whole gimmick, was politics.
Oh, for sure.
So, same with
Must have sucked. Must have sucked to like go out and just be angry every night. I always thought that, like, it must suck to like, and like vice versa. Like, what if you have like nothing but sad music? It must suck to like just go out and play sad music every night, or happy. It's probably easier to play happy music because it might be like a little adrenaline rush to like, or high energy.
You don't think there's an adrenaline rush to bust out like Bomb Track?
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's probably easy to do the angry stuff. It's like, what if you're in a really good mood?
20,000 people jumping up and down with you, like that's probably
like. What if I don't want to rage? What if I don't want to rage against the machine tonight? I don't want to. I'm happy. The machine's being good to me.
Wearing your Nikes and your Apple Watch and your iPad and your Starbucks, and you're like, I think I'm going to leave the machine alone tonight. I think.
Yeah. I'm just thinking a little less angry tonight.
Zach's not coming out of his dressing room. He says he refuses to rage against the machine tonight. So you might give it a shot tomorrow.
My printer's turning on for some reason. Yeah, I don't know. That's I don't know. I may never know. I may never know what it's like to experience that. And at this point, I don't really care.
Well, you can only invest so much into it.
I mean, I really don't have to do anything. Just wait.
Because emotionally, though, like it's a big thing for you. That was your band back in high school. I mean, you always wanted to see them. You looked up to Tom Morello. I mean, not.
Yeah, I mean, they were one of the first bands I ever learned how to play music.
Yeah, so
they're
it's not just that you want to rage against the machine. They mean a lot to you, and they never tour. So
that's why I kind of want to leave those memories where they were at. I don't know. I'm weird like that.
Like they say, like never meet your heroes.
Kinda. I mean, I know
Yeah.
the problem would be good live, maybe not. I just it's like the whole like, okay, I'm paying over $100. Well, it's like $150 for nosebleeds
Yeah.
with no stage show. Who knows? I don't think they've ever had a stage show, right? I think it's
No,
always
when I
just been
saw them.
red star,
Yeah,
black
when I
flag, and a
saw them,
red
they just had
star.
the red star backdrop.
That's it. I feel like ever since which, hey, there's something to say about that.
They had the siren go off, like an alarm,
Yeah.
like, and they came out during the siren and they busted out Testify. And it was fucking sweet. But you had a bunch of fucking people you thought they were badasses, like beating the shit out of each other, and he kept stopping the show.
You
Rage
did
Against
see
the
him?
Machine, tough guys.
Did you see
I
them?
saw him at Lollapalooza.
Look at you. Was
It
it
was
worth it?
okay,
Yeah.
huh? A bunch of people crashed the gates because they rushed the gates, like knocked it down just to see Rage. And it was a pretty violent crowd. I was far back, but he kept stopping the show, saying like, calm the fuck down, which I respect, because obviously people don't do that these days, like Travis Scott. Less people die at his concerts. But
Yeah.
I mean, those just like Lollapalooza, it's just no badass broke person that they're singing about is fucking going to Lollapalooza, paying hundreds of thousands of dollars to come to Chicago. So like they're basically singing to the enemy. You know what I mean?
You're
And
right.
the enemy's in the crowd pretending to be a bunch of badasses. When if they actually like fucking started like rioting, the Chicago police would beat the fuck out of all of them. And then their mommies and daddies can come down to the station and rescue them. And they could say, we raged, we raged, we raged.
We raced against the machine.
Now, maybe the people that crashed the gate were badasses since they crashed the gate and they were like, we're just going to rush this place. That happens every year, though. People rush. Just like 100 people just rush. You can't catch them all.
Silly young people, I guess.
I don't know if it's young. I think it's just anybody.
Yeah, it's probably mostly young people. Those dumbasses.
I didn't.
What? So that's so long.
That's how I go every year.
Yeah. How many years have you gone in a row?
Oh, I haven't gone in a row in a long time. This is the first time I've gone in a while. I probably won't go this year.
Did you just go this year? Was it? Or okay, I gotcha. That was last year.
This past summer, but this upcoming summer, they're already releasing shit for this summer now. They released Bonnaroo. They released Coachella yet. I'm not gonna go to Coachella either. The way the When We Were Young festival. What's that?
It must have been a big thing with Rage because they pulled out of a couple big festivals too.
Something must be going on.
Yeah.
Maybe they're concerned about COVID for real. I don't know.
Who knows? Because I mean, Lala's not up yet, but I think there's like a Boston something. There's like a Boston the Boston Market Festival.
There's a Governor's Ball, I think, in New York.
Yeah, I don't know. We shall see. We shall see. Speaking of Chicago, have you watched the new season of Ozark yet?
Yeah.
Because there are a couple scenes that took place in Chicago.
I think they're originally from Chicago too.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I watched it. That was my weekend. Basically, was burning through those 7 episodes.
See, that was the first time we went back to Chicago, wasn't it? Or they actually showed scenes in Chicago besides the first episode or first season.
I might say you're probably right about that. They might have had maybe a couple flashbacks here and there, but yeah.
And I'm not done yet, so we can't completely talk about it. But man, either my memory sucks or like I don't remember half the shit that happened, because I know they're doing like a lot of like callbacks and a lot of like not callbacks, but like they're just talking about the story. Like I don't remember that. I don't remember that. I don't remember that. I mean, it hasn't been on that long. I guess it's been on what, 3-4 years.
It's on this 4th season.
Yeah, I even did like a little recap, like watched the recap before I started the next season. Like I don't remember hardly any of it. I know that what's her name got her brains blown out at the end of the last season. I guess we'll wait to do a spoiler because I should have it done by next week. I think I have like 2 episodes left.
Okay, it's last episode's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll talk about it later. I don't want anything to spoil. So do you like, I think we talked about
Marty gets his head cut off.
Cool. Do you I don't know if we talked about this last couple of times, but do you prefer, because this was Ozark's one of the few remaining shows left that like release the whole season at a time as opposed to one at a time. Do you prefer that, to just eat it all at once, or prefer to like stretch it out and
Well, it just
enjoy it over
depends on
time?
the show. I mean, with Ozark, for some reason, I wanted to binge it. It was one of those weekend binge situations where it's like, yeah, let's just hang out and watch Ozark, and it's only 7 episodes. I can knock this out. But then you got shows like The Righteous Gemstones, where I love that show. Okay, I think it's great, but like I just want to watch it at like my leisure when I feel comfortable and ready to, because like I've only watched 2 of them. I think there's 3 out, and there's been several times where it's like, all right, let's watch this. Let's watch the Gemstones. I'm like, I'm not ready for it. I'm not ready for it. So I guess like I want it to be on my terms, whatever it is, whether it's on a weekly basis. I don't want to have to, oh my God, you have to watch this or else. You know what I mean? Like if I want
Unless
to
you
binge it, I
don't.
want to binge it. If I want to watch an episode and put it away for a while, put it away for a while. So,
Well, that's a good thing about so many shows being out. Like, because I guess the thing that would make you, for something like Ozark, is you want to watch it so you don't get it spoiled. But I feel like there's just so much. Like I don't feel like they didn't cover it at all. I didn't see. Maybe I saw like maybe one headline or one something that they try to be very vague about it. So at least
I've
there's
seen
like there's
some people spoil it on
well,
Facebook.
if you search it, but like in terms of just
I've seen people post stuff and basically spoil it.
yeah, well, fuck them. Well, fuck them.
Not like blatantly, but like if you know, you know, and if you had any kind of inkling, you'd be like, "Fuck that person." You know what I mean? Like,
see, that sucks. I don't like that. Especially, it depends
yeah.
on the show, but I don't like things getting spoiled.
What kind of person does that? Like, how much attention do you need where you have to like, I know something you don't know about something that you
That's
like.
what it
I'm
is.
gonna tell. Yeah, that's stupid.
That's what it is. But Ozark's definitely a show that's best watched binged. So it's almost like, well, I can either wait. That's how I view a lot of shows. Like, well, I can either wait till there's at least 4 or 5 episodes, if not the whole season. I'll watch it then. But yeah, I started the Gemstones. I couldn't wait, and I forgot how much I love that show.
Yeah, that's really good.
That show is so funny. Yeah. Did you get the episode? I think my favorite character is BJ.
Which one's BJ?
He's
the husband.
The husband.
Yeah.
He's
so sorry for him.
What episode are you on?
I just finished 2 last night.
Oh man, I just watched 3 today. It's
I'll probably watch 3 later tonight.
There's a funny scene with BJ in there.
How about Eric Andre being on there?
Oh, I know, it's great.
Yeah, I love Eric Andre.
It's great. Yeah. I kind of I waited just so I can just binge it all, because I think I only have one more left until it's on every I don't even know what day that show comes on.
Sundays.
I feel like every show's on Sunday. Isn't Euphoria on Sunday too?
Yep.
So HBO just has all their shows on Sunday?
Not all their shows, but it seems like they're big shows they put on Sunday nights. So that's their night to release the cream of the crop, I think.
Yeah, it's always been like that.
I think Sopranos was on Sundays. I think Game of Thrones was on Sundays.
What movie was that with like Paul Rudd? Like, what are you gonna do tonight? Like, oh, what movie was that? It was like a Sunday. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, oh, we're gonna watch HBO. That's what we do every Sunday. Like, you're gonna stay and watch HBO? I'm like, yeah, they have quality programming on HBO on Sundays.
I don't know.
Whatever movie that was.
He's not wrong.
Yeah. All right, you got anything else for us tonight, Mr. Murtaugh?
Just how you holding up with the weather, man? Like you.
I feel like
it's been a mild winter, hasn't it?
It's been pretty damn mild. I'm pretty my kids have been wanting it to snow. I watch all these videos of all these people posting shit in their snow. They got snow in the background. It hasn't snowed here once. I know you got a little. I feel like this last batch of snow we got, like my area got hardly anything, and then we go like 10 minutes up the road or to another town, and they got like 3 or 4 inches.
Yeah, we did. We got some. We got about 1 to 3 a couple Saturdays ago.
Yeah, we got hardly anything. Like it was melted by the time, by the end of that night.
That sucks.
My kids were really bad.
they like shut down the city and stuff like they normally do whenever there's any rumors or whispers of snow. The city is completely shut down. The cupboards or the grocery stores are picked clean. We're not a good snow town. We're not. We're not.
You think we will be? It snows every year.
Yeah, but in like Chicago and Iowa and the other upper Midwest places I've lived, it's like every day. It's just a part of life. Like if you go, oh, let's shut down the town for snow, the town will never be open for 6 months out of the year. So
Right.
I don't know. It's just we like our Emos pizza and toasted ravioli, Cardinals baseball, Blues hockey, but we don't like even an inch of snow. That's St. Louis.
Did you see the emos box in the Ozark episode? I had to pause it. I'm like, oh, there's emos box.
That's what makes shows great, is that extra attention to detail like that.
Even though it's
and they even threw out Paducah, Kentucky. Oh, did you make it that far?
Nope. I would say even though the show's not even shot in Missouri.
I'm sure it's not. Yeah,
it's not. They're like, well, I forgot what when she's driving through town. Even though I think she's in Jeff City or supposed to be in Jeff City in one of them. I'm like, that does not look like the Ozarks. Like the in town shots whenever they're like make it look like small town like that. That doesn't look like the Ozarks to me. Maybe they did. I don't know, but I feel like I read that at least a couple years ago that everything's done in Georgia except for the flyovers.
Yeah, I think a lot of stuff's filmed in Georgia. That's Georgia and Michigan. A lot of stuff's filmed there.
With them tax breaks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's all I got. We'll see how this. We did about half an hour on Russia and Ukraine last week, so we don't really need to talk about it anymore this week, because nothing really new happened. Just a bunch of blowhards back and forth. Even though I know a bunch of troops got sent over to Europe, I think
8,500 or 85,000.
Yeah. I think it was 8,500, but I'm not sure. I'm surprised we have 85. I don't think we have 85,000 troops in the army.
Huh. I think hopefully this is just a dick measuring contest. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like anything. I feel like no one knows, but it's kind of like what we've been, at least the headlines are like, U.S. wants a war. They want to make that money. They want to make that war money.
Yeah.
Like I thought like Ukraine even came out and said, nope, they're not here. They're not at the borders.
You shut your whore mouth right now.
Who, me?
No. Newspapers to the Ukraine.
Right. Everything's fine here.
No, it's not.
Yeah. No, it's not. Damn it.
No, it's not. You're going to go to war, God damn it.
We got a bunch of contracts. Got a bunch of contracts with our contractors. We gotta make that money. Make that.
I mean, if you think about it, based on history, a war would help the economy. But obviously, I'm not pro-war, not pro-violence, really, because I'm too big of a pussy and I'm too old to go in the war at this point. So I don't want to say, people want to serve the country, more power to them. I respect that. But we don't have the same kind of, like we talked about last episode, where people are like, let's go fight them Nazis. Let's go get those Japanese. Like ever since like Vietnam, we've had like an anti-war sentiment. We're not a war-hungry nation. So
not yet, but all it takes is an attack. And if I would, it's not a prediction by any means, but do you know what would be the unifying attack, like the quote unquote Pearl Harbor, that would get us unified?
Statue of Liberty.
No, it wouldn't even be an attack. It would be an attack, but it'd be a cyber attack. I feel like if somehow, if it was like New York or shit, even the whole country, I don't know how they could do that. But like if they like hacked into the power grid, can you imagine? Like you wouldn't know because the power would be out, but like if like our whole country power just stopped.
Yeah.
I don't think they have I know they like to fuck around with cyber attacks. They do that a lot. They did to Ukraine already. And, there's no proof, but people claim that they rigged the elections. And we definitely know they do troll farms and bot farms. that have influence over here. So, you know, I don't know how they could do it, but if they did like a mass scale cyber attack, because that would mess a lot of stuff up, even if it was just off for, you know, a week.
Maybe that's the future of war, is just
Oh
cyber
yeah,
attacks.
for sure.
Like Fortunate Son's playing, like there's a helicopter and like the kid, run, run, run. You run to the computer and you're like, hack, hack, hack. It's like,
Yeah,
get
but
down,
like,
get down, firewall, firewall.
just think of the damage.
No, you're not wrong. Or just
I'm not. I mean, that would affect everybody, and that would suck. Like economy, just yours, and it depends what time of the month it happened or time of the year it happens. Like if it happens in the winter and the grid goes down, that sucks.
Yeah. That scares me. Thank you for that thought.
You're welcome. I think about it every day.
Awesome.
I try to think like, okay. I mean, I think that's probably the biggest, like, since COVID, it's like anything that was in the back of my head, it's like, oh, that'll never happen. But something about COVID and like everything that's happened since, I'm like, yeah, probably anything could happen, because we're all just, you know, we're all pretty fragile. And the grid we're on is fragile, and you know, we're so interconnected. All it takes is one little thing to like mess a lot of stuff up. So we know the history of cyber attacks with Russia. I mean, could they do that? I have no idea. If that it's something anybody's even capable of. And I do know that like we probably do now, but like as like 5-10 years ago, we probably could not have even stopped that, just because we're not smart enough. We don't have this like smart enough people in charge.
We hear about places getting hacked all the time, just like I think Circuit City was a big one that got hacked, where they stole all the customers' information, just stuff like that. Just like hack all the banks, steal everyone's information. I mean,
well, that's the thing. There's been a shit ton of attacks in this country. Like all the news, like there's like,
yeah.
And it's funny because I guess since we don't see it on a global, or we don't see it ever, like we see like, oh, this tax huge, but like we don't understand it. Like that's my field. Like, and I don't even understand. Like, well, how is this? Like, well, all your data and all of, you know, the passwords into this and that controls this has got hacked, and it's like, oh, that could be pretty bad.
North Korea is supposed to have some good hacking too, I heard.
Yeah.
So that's just great. So we got everyone just trying to hack us.
Maybe, who knows?
The old days, they wanted to blow us up. Now they just want to hack us and fuck with our information. Welcome to 2022.
Yeah. We all, I mean, that's the thing. Like that's the more
soldier.
The more we rely on it, that it's an asset. So if they can take that out, and shoot, they can do that overseas. It's the online thing. You can do that overseas.
Yeah.
So yeah, happy thoughts.
Yeah. I'll help you sleep well at night.
Yeah.
I can't wait to wake up at 3 a.m. thinking we're all going to be hacked and our power grid is going to be shut off.
Well, if to be optimistic, I would hope to think that if that happens, we could get it back up pretty soon.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
That's why, like, when there's a storm and the power goes out, Ameren takes like almost a day to put it back because there's a backup, right?
Yeah. Yeah, usually that though, that's like physical damage. Right? Like in big storms, and you know, trees fall down or power lines fall down, or yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry,
Yeah.
you froze.
No, I know, it's me. All right, let's end this before I freeze up again.
You're fine, dude. Don't worry about it. You froze a couple times.
That's all right. Voice getting a little rough anyway. All right, that's been another episode of Happy Medium. Follow us on A Happy Medium Pod. We're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, not Facebook. Not on Facebook. We're on YouTube. Not by choice. We're on YouTube. Like us, subscribe to us, review us on Apple Podcasts. Do it all, or don't. We'd like it if you did.
Chaz Water. Why pay the water bill when you have Chaz Water?
There you go.
Well,
Chad's Water. Even if the grid goes down, you'll still have that delicious yellow tinted water. It'll never. Chad's Water can never be hacked.
You'll need Chad's Water once.
Stock up on Chad's Water just in case you can't go to the grocery store.
Put that in the compound that you're building.
Yes.
bottles of it.
I think he sells a compound size. It's like 20 gallons.
Yeah. 20 gallons. That's a good deal.
Yeah. I didn't say
That's
the price. I don't know what the price is.
Well, whatever the price is, I'm sure it's fair, right, Chad?
Probably. He said it comes in a payment plan though, like installments with like 30%. I thought I heard he said 30% interest. I'm not sure.
He reminded me of Martha the other day when he fronted me some water. He was like, I'm going to sell you to, if you don't pay me back.
If you don't pay me back, I am going to sell you. All right. Until next time.
All right.
Bye.